Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rudy from BesterInvestor. You will not believe this ridiculous high-paying dividend stock that I am going to share with you today. The company is called AllianceBernstein Holding LP, which means it's a limited partnership, and its ticker symbol is AB. Trades on the New York Stock Exchange. All the information I'm sharing with you is as of today, which is July the 13th, or otherwise as per their last financial reporting period. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this one. It is crazy stuff, so stick with me and let's go through this one. But first and foremost, I'm not providing any investment advice, so please don't make any investment decisions based on the information I'm sharing with you, because you probably will just lose all your money. So this video is for your information, it's for your entertainment, it's for whatever you want, but don't consider it to be financial advice, because that's not what I do. All right, let's take a look. AllianceBernstein Holding Limited Partnership. If it's a limited partnership and you invest in this company and you live in the United States, so a US tax person, you will receive a K1 at the end of the year, because the distribution will be reported as a K1, and you would have to file that on your tax return accordingly. What does AllianceBernstein do? It provides research, investment management, and related services to a range of clients, and blah, blah, blah. Then it says the company offers a range of investment services, including equity strategies, including value, growth, and equities. A couple of lines beneath that highlight that I put there, it says it does a whole variety of different things: index and index strategies, alternative investments, hedge funds, funds of funds, private equity. If you don't know what hedge funds are and funds of funds are and private equities, we can always do that on a next video at a later date. That's some of the things that AllianceBernstein actually does. The company's services span various investment disciplines, including capitalization, term, and geographic location. So quite a diversified investment management and related services company that also sells research by the look of things, based on this summary that I pulled off TD Ameritrade. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. Let's look at the balance sheet. This is as of March the 31st, 2020. Now, would you look at this? This is really, really interesting. So what you have here is a company that, okay, let's first go back a step again. On a previous video about Oxy, I said, let me start off by saying not everybody necessarily understands the balance sheet. And I said the simplicity of the balance sheet is that the assets have to equal the liabilities plus the owner's equity. So I used the example and said, if you were starting a small business today and you were fortunate enough to have $100,000 to invest in that business, then your assets as of today would be $100,000 in the bank. You'd have no liability, so that would be zero, and your owner's equity would be $100,000 in order for your balance sheet to balance. So in really simplistic terms, that's a balance sheet. How about AllianceBernstein? So these numbers that are up here are in millions, and we see AllianceBernstein has assets of about 1.5 billion, and it has liabilities of 1 million, and it has owner's equity of 1.5 billion. So my balance sheet actually doesn't kind of balance, but that's just a rounding error. This is a $1.5 billion company that has no liabilities. So owner's equity, $1.5 billion. Interesting balance sheet, because it's not the typical balance sheet that you see for a sort of mid-size company. In this particular instance, the issuer. So AllianceBernstein is the issuer, trading on the New York Stock Exchange, issuing stock, AB, has a value, according to his balance sheet, the owner's equity or shareholder value is 1.5 billion. So let's look at the market. The market cap for AllianceBernstein as of today, this is as of today, and what we have here is a market cap or valuation of $2.7 billion. So the market cap or valuation of the company according to the market is 2.7 billion, And according to the balance sheet, the shareholder equity or owner's interest is about 1.5 billion. So a little uptick there. But the next thing we're going to look at over here is a PE. So PE stands for price earnings ratio. And price earnings ratio of 10 is actually quite low, which generally sort of as a snapshot tells you that the stock is relatively cheap. Or maybe I shouldn't say the stock is cheap, I'll say it's inexpensive. So if we look at AllianceBernstein over here and compare it to its peers, you'll see AllianceBernstein has a PE of 10.22, which is what I brought down from up top there. And then some of its peers, and you probably won't be familiar with these companies, I am not. I basically just looked at AllianceBernstein and then looked at its peers. Affiliated Managers, Cohen and Steers, Artisan Partners, Asset Management, Federated Hermes. So these companies respectively have, I know that the numbers on the screen are quite small, so I'm just going to enlarge it a little bit, talk about them a little bit. So AMG is at a PE of 18, CNS, which is Cohen and Steers, is at 26, APAM, which is Artisan Partners Asset Management, is at 12, Federated Hermes looks a little bit cheaper at around 8, AllianceBernstein at 10 is certainly a snapshot indication of a relatively inexpensive stock in terms of where its PE is right now. So PE, price versus price divided by earnings. That's what PE means. And then there's this line over here, 9.96, and then we can see sort of its peers over here. So let's take a look at this 9.96 and see what's going on there. AB, AllianceBernstein dividend yield. AllianceBernstein, so I'm reading up at the top here, currently offers a dividend of 9.96, so 10%, which is in line with the industry average, but higher than that of the S&P 500, which yields 2.18 on average. If we look at the annual dividend yield, so over here where it says annual dividend yield, AllianceBernstein is a little gray block, and the industry average is this little line over here. So you can see AllianceBernstein's 10% is higher than the 2.5, which I just mentioned above briefly. The dividend changed. AllianceBernstein's dividend hasn't changed much over the years, but it's so high, it's almost 10%. And then the dividend growth over the last 3 years is, sort of there or thereabouts in terms of being in line with this industry. It's an interesting snapshot. This is a stock that yields a 10% dividend paid on a quarterly basis. Let's look at a snapshot of the company. So here we can see you can buy AllianceBernstein for around 27 bucks per share. So it's currently trading at around $27 per share. It's sort of trading right in the middle of its 52-week range, high and low. The low, of course, is 13.24 over here. It hit that I think it was like March 13th or something like that, when the stock market crashed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The volatility, 66, it's probably more volatile, we'll see in a minute, so we'll look at the volatility here in a minute. So this is 66.2%. The market cap, 2.7, so we talked a little bit about that. Earnings per share, 2.63, based on TTM. TTM means trailing 12 months. The PE ratio, we talked about that. The annual dividend yield, which is 10%, is $2.68. So when you look at the dividend yield of any company, this amount here in dollars, sorry about that, I chose the wrong marker. So let me just get my little highlighter going here. This amount here of $2.68 is the annual dividend, which is approximately 10% of the actual stock price. That's how you get to the 9.96%. So when a stock yields 10%, it's not actually 10% as a lockdown number. It's actually more than $2.68 that is locked down. So if AllianceBernstein's stock had to double from $27 to $54, for example, then the annual dividend percentage would drop from 10 to 5. And conversely, when the stock was trading at $13.24, if AllianceBernstein at that point in time was still paying 2.68, so $2.68 as a dividend, that dividend would be worth almost 20%. Ex-dividend date coming up, sorry, that's in the past, May the 8th, and they paid it out on May the 28th. That was the last dividend that they paid. Beta at 1.5. Beta measures the stock's volatility versus the index. So in this case, you're measuring it versus the S&P 500. If the number is greater than 1, that means AllianceBernstein has been more volatile than the S&P 500, which it has been because it's at 1.5. The stock is held by institutions, approximately almost 20% held by institutions, is not very high. And its short interest is 1%, which means there's about 1% of the outstanding shares, which is about 100 million, that is commonly held short. So only 1% of people think that the stock's going to go down. Those are the short sellers, right? So a little bit of news and we'll wrap it up. So Oxy News today, Zacks. This is not BesterInvestor or Rudy. This is Zacks. They ranked AllianceBernstein a strong buy today. They said what the company does. It provides diversified investment management services. And anyway, the line that's of interest here is that Zacks is saying this is a strong buy at this price of around $27. And then Evercore initiated coverage on AllianceBernstein with an outperforming rating. So we just said the stock's trading at about $27. And Evercore says its price target is about $30, so it's about a 10% uptick over there. And AllianceBernstein earned 64 cents in the first quarter. That's its earnings versus 49 cents in the previous year, quarter one. So an interesting stock, high dividend, seems to be a solid company. It has no liabilities, which means that the asset value is almost equal to the share owner equity. It's a limited partnership, which means it issues a K1 to U.S. tax persons. Interesting one. If you think AllianceBernstein is interesting, make a comment below. I'll take a look at it and see if I can sort of get a discussion going and see what other people think about AllianceBernstein. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like the information I'm sharing with you, please subscribe, and let's build a little community here of like-minded people who are value investing for the longer term, so we can collectively build some generational wealth and make sure that we all benefit from one another's knowledge as we share it. As usual, you can reach me if you'd like. You can link with me on LinkedIn at Rudy Bester. You can follow me at Twitter or Parler at Rudy Best. Feel free to email me, rudy@memorytrees.co. Memory Trees is our charitable foundation, and affiliated with MTC Equity Partners, which is our opportunity zone fund that invests in distressed assets in designated opportunity zones. Anyway, that's all my contact info. As I said, please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have fun. Take care. This is Rudy for BesterInvestor signing off. Bye-bye.